Good morning. G'day, it's Fish, the Beach Bum Investor, with your cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 26th of October 2017. Just going to post up in Discord and Statement and let the guys know that we're here for the discussion. A couple of interesting things happening in the economy. It may look nice and steady on the surface of things, but there's a few things coming up that we need to be aware of. Obviously, the PIVX forking coming up, and also a couple of things with some of the specific altcoins that we'll go through today as well. Just some news from our Discord group. So a lot of you will already be aware of it, but I'd like to discuss it a little bit. I think there's some interesting stuff coming out for District 0x is one that I'd like to discuss today. I'm a long-term holder on that one. I've been holding it since 10 cents. So I've taken a ride down on it, but yeah, I think it's got a promising future. So we'll have a bit of a chat about that today. Let me just get this up and running. There it is. There's my ugly mug. Won't be a second. Oh, hey Z. Con Savage Ruthless, you're first like 8 out of 10 times now. Very quick, very quick. Z, you're coming down Sunday, eh? Are you going to be on the show? Or are you just coming down to chill? Come on the show. Just posting up in Discord. Doop. Live now, guys. And also in Steemit. Hey, Steemit's had an update. Might as well start with that. I logged onto my Steemit account this morning and the site looks different. Some really cool development work done there. I really like it. Well done to the Steemit developers. I think the new layout looks really, really good. I really like it. Positive move for Steemit there. And perhaps that's been reflected a bit because I did see the Steem price bouncing back up. I'm just going to bring the live chat up on this screen now so I can actually communicate with all of you. Takes about 50 steps. The good people know how to do this like easy, right? Not me. Here we go. If I go there, and I'll push pause on that. Hello, everyone. Searching for Bobby Fish. Oh, next Sunday is it, Z? Oh, next Sunday? Oh, I think I'm not sure if I'm away. I'll have to check on that. Guessing I'm a Logan fan. All right, so Steemit's had an update. I'll just show you. This is some guy called the Beach Bum Investor. Anyway, it's just pretty cool. It brings it up in news and you can put it on people on fire. I just like it. It's got the links to the blog and the wallet over there. So I just think it's a cool update. I like it. Looks good. Wearing that Cosby sweater. Oh, Bobby Fischer. Yeah, okay. Of course. I feel like Bobby Fischer. I know that song. I could actually do a whole verse of that song, believe it or not. Still haven't got your Steem approval, bro. Crypto Chronicles. I have heard, just to let you know, I have heard it taking up to 4 weeks. I haven't heard anyone taking longer than that, but I have heard up to 4 weeks. As I said in previous chats, it's just their way of keeping a lot of fake accounts off there. They do actually personally check each application. So it takes some time when there's people waiting to get on. It looks like that's the case at the moment. Let me just check Steem on the crypto economy. On coinmarketcap.com and see how it's gone. It dipped well. It dipped to 96 cents, I think, is the lowest I was spot checking it. And I just went, wow, really? Seems too cheap. $1. So back over that dollar mark. Feel like Bobby Fischer. You're fired, yeah. Oh, you got the American viewers would know that song, Pete. That's an Aussie rap song, bro. Of course. Who did that one? Was it Hilltop Hoods or I can't remember. Anyway, we'll get off rap, get back onto the crypto economy. Yeah, so Steem's one that is kicking back, but I still think it's way too cheap. The other coin that I wanted to talk about today is District 0x with some announcements coming out, and that was put up on our Discord group. And basically what it is that you're able to vote now. It's basically up and running. The District 0x project ICO started just over a month ago and ended on August 1st. The District Network Token, or DNT, is used as a voting, blah, 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 blah. So people who can actually, who do actually own DNT like myself are eligible to vote in the community over there. So that's pretty cool. I think DNT is going to do very, very well. I do. I think District 0x is a really, it makes sense. It makes sense to govern not by geography, but by interest groups or by marketplaces, if you like. So something that's going to work in one industry doesn't necessarily work in another industry. And this way the niche markets get to govern themselves. I really like that. No trades for you today, Crypto Chronicus? Oh, well, I got a heap. Not a heap, but I got a buyback on, I'll tell you what I got. To tell you what I bought back on, I got some sells obviously in that run up. So I set them cheaper to buy them back. It's looking pretty good at the moment. My PIVX account, I'm pretty happy with it. Still holding up a really nice run up after from those lows. So I'm happy. Oh, really? I didn't know that was the timing of it, the song Cosby Sweater. It's such a good song, though. I love that song. That's actually really bad because one of the long lines in the song is, how's it go? It goes, I'm going to unstep up every time that I rumble. They all call me champ of the jungle. It's fitting. I'm going to, oh, how's it go? I'm going to get drunk and dance like your uncle until I'm all hands like your uncle. I'm kidding. So it's probably not an appropriate line to go in the Cosby Sweater song after what Cosby was accused of. Do I listen to Bliss and Esso? You bet, Dayon, man. I love the Aussie rap. Bliss and Esso, Hilltop Hoods. I like a bit of, who else have we got? Fundamentals are pretty cool, man. If you've heard some Fundamentals, they've got some good stuff. Yeah, I love Aussie rap. Do you like my little, I actually know that whole verse, Pete. If I, like, when I've practiced it, I can do it. And I do it on my guitar at the same time. It's stupid. Get a couple of beers into me and I might do it. Anyway, back onto the crypto economy. I'm just going to bring up my orders and tell you what I did buy and sell. Yeah, no, there's some really good Aussie hip hop, man. I like Illy. I got mad respect for AB Originals. I don't know if you guys have seen the AB Originals Paul Kelly, like a version on Triple J. Wow, it's Dan Sultan on guitar. Amazing, amazing. Oh, that's cool, Crypto Chronicus. You have a company and they are asking me to share your link to follow and subscribe. Yes, please. That'd be fantastic, mate. So getting onto my orders. So what I've had buybacks since the sell run up, I've had buybacks on Pay, VTC, and ARC. Okay. So I got Pay buybacks at 31,501 and 32,626. And we'll just check quickly where that one's sitting now and see how fishy's gone with his buybacks. 31,501 and 32,626 were my buybacks on Pay. I'm a little bit above the second one by like 67 Satoshi. So yeah, I'm right on where that, I'm hoping it finds support there, obviously. That was my second buy order for that. I do have one set lower, I think. Let me just double check that for you. On Pay, I quite like it at the moment. I think it's, I didn't get through the whole Q&A. I'm still getting through it, but it was really good with Julian from the other night. Yes, I still got two buy orders set. I got one at 30501 and one all the way down at 27101 for those interested. Yeah, so I start selling off just before the 34,000 mark, but only fractional amounts. Just trying to play the swings a little bit on those ones, but really just trying to accumulate because I think it is a great long-term project and bargain prices at the moment. That's my personal opinion at $1.80, way too cheap. Okay, let's see what else I got to buy on. See, anything I got to buy on, I'm pretty much going to tell you I think it's too cheap, and you've got to make your own decision. Hey, Aki5, hey, you want to come in the chat, man? I'll pop the link up if you want to come in. Hey, Lightspeed, how are you, bro? Anyway, I'm just going to keep an eye on the chat while I'm doing this at the same time. I was doing some reading on PIVX and saw their ideals are in swarm intelligence. You think you could elaborate on that a bit? Oh, mate, Pete, I wouldn't want to be disrespectful without doing a little bit more reading up on it myself, mate. I don't want to give, I really don't want to give layman's explanations on something that I should be more versed on. So please allow me to read up on it a bit more first. I'll be happy to comment on that on tomorrow's show. Thanks, Pete. Bitcoin Ascent. Nice hat, fish, but they spelled Bitcoin wrong. There you go, Rocky. Good on you, man. Good to see you in the chat. I'll chuck that link up for you guys. If you want to come in and have a chat, you're welcome to. We're just discussing all things today, not necessarily Bitcoin, but welcome. Not only Bitcoin, I should say, of course, always Bitcoin as well. Let me just figure out how to do this. So if I go to my Google Hangouts thing now, I should be able to invite people and I'll get the boys in. Or whoever wants to join in, welcome to come in and have your opinion. That's what we do here. Okay, Google Hangouts. You have to bear with this tag, idiots. Okay, invite people. Press that C to copy. This is like, this must be so funny for people who've got at computers. And go in here. What's up, GB Capital? Hey, bro. And paste. That's our Hangout. So if you guys do end up on the show, just yell out because I don't have it actually up in front of me. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. So if you end up, just interrupt me. If you end up in the chat with me and we can have a chat. But I'll just keep going on those buys I got back this morning, which means I see it as a little bit cheap. Vertcoin, I don't necessarily see it as way too cheap at the moment because it did have that big run up, but I did get a couple of coins back. Of course, I've got buy orders set lowers. This was the first of my buybacks. So I hit a buy at, just having a look here now. Oh, I've hit another one actually since checking. This has just happened. Yep. Okay. I've got 2 buy orders hit just recently. So I got one at 55151, and that's what I said. That was only a fractional amount because I thought it was just buying it back because I could cheaper than what I'd sold it for on that big run up. So, hey, Hourglass, welcome, bro. Yeah, so I got a buyback bit early on that one, but I did sell it for more, so I'm still winning long term, and I think Vertcoin will go very, very well long term. So for me, it's a good buyback anyway. But then I really got a good level buyback just before 118. It's showing up here as 12:13. So it's literally just happened because that's 12:13 New South Wales time, which is 11:13 where I am in Queensland. So it's just happened now that I've got a buyback at 51101. Now I'll have a couple more buys set on that, no doubt, waiting for those big retracements and the jackpots. But that 5101 has already been broken downside, and now I've only got one left actually. I went real jackpot with the next one. I went 42511, so right down there. Yeah, so that's my plan at the moment for Vertcoin. I'm sort of playing, it's kind of playing 50 cents each way. I think long term I'm going to win on all those trades. I'm just trying to, yeah, I'm kind of hoping for a dip. If I hit that 42,000 Satoshi buy order, I'm kind of stoked. So we'll see what happens, as long as it bounces back off of there. But I've just got my one now at 51101, and the ask is 50. It's fluctuating around that mark, around the 51,000 mark. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let's see. I got one more, and that was on ARK. So they're the 3 that Vertcoin, it's hard for me to call it too cheap with that massive run up. Maybe still look for retracement on that. It's up to you. Play it your own way. But I'll just tell you the other one I got, which was ARK. So I just want to see where that, I'll see for myself as well. So this is cool. I get to do the show and actually do my work at the same time. So ARK, I got, where did I get? Open orders. Okay. I got a buyback at 45001. Where are we at? 45163. So I've already had a nice kick off of there. That's good. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Not huge, but oh no, it's gone down. Sorry, 44867. So I will have another buy order somewhere. Let me just find it. Yep, there it is. So I've got a buy order set at 39301. That's like literally Fibonacci sequence, 2-second analytics. So please don't put too much stock into those buy orders that I'm setting. I've got my own strategies, and most of it is holding until I'm right. So I don't really care if I get it wrong. Hey, Dog, I want to talk to you. How are you, brother? Just quickly. This is the frustrating. Oh, I can't bring it up. I've got your video done with the lyrics, ready to go, and it won't come up when I render it on DaVinci Resolve. So if anyone in the chat is good with DaVinci Resolve, please help me to finish A-Dog's video, because he has been waiting patiently and I've finished it. I just need DaVinci Resolve to actually work so I can get it released. Good to see you, A-Dog. Thanks for dropping in, bro. All right, let's keep having a look. I'm just going to check on Hangouts just to make sure. No, it's just me still. Cool. Cool. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, so the overall market cap's been pretty steady. It's sitting around the 170 billion mark, like fluctuating a little bit. Bitcoin itself dipped down to 5,500 and it's been gobbled up pretty quickly, guys. It's gone. That's really actually a quick move up. Yeah, bro, I can send it to you in Gmail for sure. We need to talk about this? No worries, Doug. You're in control of this one. I told you that, bro. I'll just do, I can put all the vocals. Like the audio stuff I can actually do quite easily now. So if you want to make the video clip for it, bro, that's cool. Anyway, moving back to the crypto economy, Bitcoin is at 5,748. So yeah, that's a really nice kick off those lows, and it happened quickly. A lot of people did actually predict that it would be sort of flash movements from here. And there is bigger money coming into the space with the introduction of Ledger X. So I don't see the reason I'm going to experience some volatility. I say it's steady. Steady-ish for this market, but it did take a bit of a run down. It's back now to 170. It seems to be finding nice support though. Where will it go from here? It's a tough decision. Will B2X be seen as an opportunity or a reason to be worried? Now for me, I don't see it as either really, because if you know what, I don't see B2X as a great value proposition. As a matter of fact, I don't want it to happen. So yeah, I don't think it's a great opportunity, but I don't think it's a big fear factor either, because for me, I know that all I have to do to protect myself is make sure I don't send Bitcoin or B2X or BTG until replay protection is in place. And if I do that, I'm safe. So there's not really a reason to fear or be excited. And I think maybe that's what we're seeing in the market at the moment. To be honest, I think the uneducated will lean towards fear. And that's the thing, like I don't necessarily think there's a reason for that, but if enough people do, it will cause the price to drop. And so that for me is then opportunity, because people are fearing, and that's when I can buy up. So I'm sort of waiting for that, guys. That's my strategy at the moment, is I think, whereas BTG did very well at marketing themselves as the friendly fork, No 2X is all over the place. So people are already scared of it. So that's kind of my strategy for this one. I don't know if it'll play out given how hard it kicked off 5,500. Perhaps the bigger money is obviously going to be educating them themselves very, very well. And perhaps the big money has just, jumped in at 5,500, because it takes a lot to move it to 57.48 in that short of space of time. So who knows? Oh, Neo on Ledger now? Cool. Yeah, you're right, ACU5. We go for an hour, bro, so no hurry, man. We've only been on for 20 minutes, so you got 40 minutes. No hurry at all, bro, whenever you're ready. Okay, Ethereum at 297. We said last time when it does dip below 300, it does tend to go down to 280 to find support. I don't think so this time. I don't think so. I could be wrong. It definitely can trade between that 280 and 300 mark. We've seen that quite regularly, and then it tends to trade between 3 and 330 when it jumps over 300 and 330 when it jumps over that 300 mark. So yeah, I'm not really sure with Ethereum at the moment. I still think it's great long-term holding, will it dip a little further? It's hard for me to read on this one. Last time I definitely thought it was going to go to 280 before it found support. This time I'm having a little more trouble making the decision. But the good thing for me is I already bought it at 280, so I don't have to do anything now. I've already just got to sit there and you know, if it dips to 280 again, I might even take it again, because it is building up massive, like continued support at 280. Like a lot of support there. So yeah, that's my plan with Ethereum. Ripple I intend to leave alone altogether. Bitcoin Cash I intend to leave alone altogether. Litecoin's pretty good value at the moment at 56. Like that. It's just starting to show that recovery. Up 1% in the last 24 hours. I quite like that today. 56 I think is good at Litecoin today. Yep, there's one that I like. Moving on, Neo 28.95. There are a lot of Neo supporters, but I always said I'd wait for it to drop 25 or lower before I even got interested. And usually when that happens, it's because of a complete market correction. So I don't really get the upper, like I'm too busy focused on other coins that I really, really desperately want at those sort of prices. Like I really do think that Pays a very good value token. They've got 100,000 users. That's confirmed. That's a lot. That's exceeding their expectations. That was exceeding their own expectations. They've exceeded their own expectations, but somehow not the expectation of the investors. Interesting. I think we've got someone on the chat with us. Acu5, how are you, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. Good to have you on the show. Hey, thanks very much for hooking us up with Rocky too for that Bitcoin chat the other day. That was really good.
Oh yeah, Rocky's a cool guy, dude. I talk to him every night, man. He's good info. So anytime Rocky talks, you listen.
Yeah, for sure. He had some great information. As a matter of fact, I don't think I got as much out of him as I could have, so I might have to have him back on the show. For those of you who don't know, Acu5 is he's a cryptocurrency investor. He's into Bitcoin. He is ex-Navy, if I'm correct. Is that right, Acu5?
Yeah. Well, never X, you know. I'm still still Navy. So.
Cool, of course. My apologies. And big motorbike fan as well, if I'm right. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we met through the crypto economy, and Acu5 was the guy who's put me on to Rocky. So that's been a great source of information for our group. Mate, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on the Bitcoin action going up to the B2X for? Do you think that people are going to see it as an opportunity to get more free coins, or do you think they might be fearful of
it? I'd say I'd be fearful, man, honestly, because they're up to something, man. Something's going on in the market. I know that. So you got to think these people with all this large amount of Bitcoin they're mining it in 2009. Well, look what's going on with Roger Ver. You know, I just watched, you know, when I first got into Bitcoin, him crying on TV about how Bitcoin's going to save everybody and all this, and he's all emotional. And now he's cutting it for more profit for himself. So, you know, greed got to the best of him, I believe, and that's where this whole market's going to, is greed, and then investors are going to be turned away. And I think it's just actually going to go pretty bearish pretty soon, man, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough one to read. There's you know, honestly, I was playing around with the strategy. I like to make my strategies public. I'm certainly not I'm not a big enough investor or have enough viewers to really be affecting markets anyway. But you know, my plan is probably to take a bit of profit off the table at the moment, because I think whether I believe there's reason to fear or not, I think enough people are going to show perhaps a little bit of fear leading into this B2X fork. And I tend to agree with you. I think we could be in for a little bit of a bearish time until we get some more good news out of the economy.
Once it hit 6K, man, that was kind of like, I got something in my brain that just said, you know, like that's where it's going to start hitting triggers. 5K was already hitting triggers. Anything over 5K in America, you can pretty much go to jail for, you know, if it's laundering or whatever they want to classify it. So you got all the fear from all the governments, all the banks are spreading all this fear. And of course, you're going to get all these new people that bought in just this year and brought the price up to this. You know, they're going to just, if everybody just this year got out and was kind of like, oh yeah, the governments are you know, everybody listens to the media. Everything's media these days. Everything's marketing and media, and they know what you're already into just by on your phone. So having your smartphone, every time you search something, those are trigger words for them to just keep on adding onto their own algorithm that they're playing. You know, they're pretty much learning everything about you that you don't even know about, so they can predict futures off of you. So now everybody, you know, they're getting more and more better at it because all the fear from China. What happened? Okay, well, people feared. It went down. So everybody's waiting for that next thing that's going to bring it down. So these forks are going to slowly bring the price up just for that extra Bitcoin that they can sell these altcoins for. But then you're going to get a lot of these people that are impatient with the price just sitting there going sideways, dropping big numbers some days, because you know, a lot of people made a lot of money, man. So this is the time before Christmas, before all that, that a lot of people just want to get that money that they put in the beginning of the year. And, you know, sitting at 6,000, keeps touching all these numbers all the time, all the fear from governments, all the fear from Coinbase, everything. There's fear from everything. They're spreading the fear. So I just say hold it out, man. Honestly, I'm a fighter, you know. I only put, you know, just like somebody told me when I first got into Bitcoin, don't put in something that, you know, you can't really, you know, rely on. So if I needed money, yeah, I can go back to my Bitcoin, you know, but it's money that I put aside, that I stopped smoking, you know, so much cigarettes a day, or I didn't, you know, buy this every day. You know, this is just, I only put a little bit at a time, and it adds up. So, and then
yeah, that's great advice, and that's actually advice that I've echoed on this show before, that especially when you're learning, and even when you're not learning, like see it as money that you can afford to throw away. So if it's a incentive for you to give up smoking or gambling, I used to be a gambling addict, so I don't hate gambling. So I say if you can give that up and put that budget towards investing in Bitcoin or in the crypto economy, I think that's, even if you lose every dollar, you're not killing your lungs, or you're not, you know, gambling at the tables all night or something like that. So take that money and actually make your life better, regardless of whether Bitcoin and the crypto economy works or not. Exactly, man. I actually went to a casino. There's one about 45 minutes from my house, and I was a huge gambler, man. I'm hardcore Navy, dude. You know, I'm like the old school cats. I got all my Sailor Jerry tattoos, you know, like. Yeah. Yeah. All the people in the military, you know, all these younger cats, you know, you push them, they're, oh, don't touch me. You know, I'm not that way. I was hardcore, you know, you want to start some shit, let's go down in the engine room and turn off the lights, you know. And then me getting, you know, I got stuck in the 9-to-5 that the governments want you in, right? They want you to go to work and pretty much earn just that 2 days off at the end of the week, and at the end of it, what do you have in your bank account after you paid all your bills, right? So we're just slaves in the system right now. And yeah, wage slaves. Wage slaves is what I call it. Yeah, so I didn't even own a computer for about 5-6 months ago. I was in a car crash in January. I was a passenger. The one day I didn't ride my Harley to work, it was the first rainstorm, and I live on the top of a hill like 4,000 feet up. We were going down. The guy was speeding. I broke both my legs, tore all my knees apart, ACL, PCL, meniscus, you name it, fractured my ankles. And, you know, I'm sitting in my wheelchair, and my detailer comes up to me. He's like, yo, you hear about Ozzy? I was like, Ozzy? And I'm like, huh, Ozzy. I was like, it doesn't ring a bell. He's all, the guy that sold you a car. I was like, oh, yeah, the car dealer guy. He's like, yeah, he's all into mining Bitcoin. I was like, I've heard of Bitcoin before. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, I got nothing to do. So YouTube's. And honestly, I found you the first week I started actually YouTubing, like finding YouTube channels. You know, I just would go on everybody's suggestions and just add all these channels. And I found you on there, and I was like, oh, cool, man. This guy seems cool. So I actually subscribed to you, put notifications on. And if you actually think about it, if you're watching the same show every day, over and over, somebody going over the charts every day, you're going to lose interest. So this person might have 6,000 subscribers, but he only has about 50 live, right? So
you got to keep up on these channels. You're doing great, man. Bringing new people to the show. It's bringing new people on to even view your shows. You're changing it up every day, and that's what you want. You want the viewers interested. So good job on you, man. You're getting a lot of good people on your show. You have, you know, the PIVX team over there. That's cool that you promote that too, man. And keep up what you're doing, dude. Just, you know, everybody needs to fight in this space right now. This is for the people.
Sure. For me, when I got into the space, I did a lot of research on YouTube, as a lot of us do, because it is one of the better places to actually do your research. But I found a lot of the chart watching very boring. I did a stint as a trader, so I know how to. Well, I don't really spend hours doing it, but I do know how to do technical analysis. So for me, watching someone else do it was like, no, I'd rather get your opinion on why and what's going forward. Can we debate it a bit? So that's kind of the show we started up here, and we had a couple of guys come in early and really contribute to that conversation and debate. And we often disagree, but that's a good thing because that's the way a market works as well.
Oh, I disagree with my business partner every day. He looks at me, he's like, hey, here, look what I've got today. I just look at him and just walk away. And like last night, we were working on a project, and he's like, here, can you read this? And I just read 5 pages of it, and I just walked inside. I was, I'll be back. And I went straight to bed. So I'm a man. I keep quiet, and I let my expressions show how I feel. So it's funny, man. So the altcoin market, man, and they got me hooked, man. Like I said, you're a gambler, I'm a gambler. My first day on Cryptopia, I bought Corgi coin because I was like brand new into Discord. Someone said there's a pump on Corgi. I bought it at like 20%. The thing rode to like 1,700%.
Oh, what? Yeah, right. I had some, my man. If you saw me early days, you probably saw that I got involved in what I'll call a social experiment, and man, I made like 14K US in 48 hours, and then dropped the lot as everybody in that group dumped the crap out of it on me.
I didn't even know what was going on Corgi actually, and I think I started the chain reaction of the dump, man. I swear it was like, because I didn't know how to sell, and I put sell all, and I put bid, and the price kept going up and kept going up and going up, and I like cleared the whole book, and I was like, oh shit. And then like all these guys in the chat I was in was like, motherfuckers, who did that? I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks, man. Like, damn, they dumped on us already. I was like, I'm cool with 1,700, man. I'm good.
Yeah, bloody oath. Speaking of people who manipulate markets, that's Wilkie the Whale. He literally, I heard someone coming up the stairs. He snuck in the back. He came over. He texted me this morning, goes, can I come over this morning for a bit of a chat? Wilkie's an investor as well. And we like to talk about our strategies a bit. And he said this morning, and it's now well into the afternoon, so you're not welcome here anymore, Wilkie. Piss off.
Is he the one setting up the mining rig?
We're looking at doing a few things. Wilkie's not overly tech savvy. Wilkie, show us your tablet. This is what he trades on, man. So Wilkie's not overly tech savvy. That's the only computer he has.
Once he gets a couple hundred, get some profits on those altcoins, he can upgrade like I did.
Yeah. Well, he's done very well, man. He's only been in the space, what, 6 weeks, 2 months?
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks, and he is absolutely killing it. But he's come from a world of trading stocks, commodity, basically mining stocks in Australia. So he's had a lot of experience with trading. So he came in, and the first day he got in, he texted me and said, this is trading heaven.
Well, here's my setup that I got going on right here. So I got, let's see, computers there, computer screen's there, computer screen. Yeah, I got it all set up. I started out with just one little tiny Chromebook just 4 months ago, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm not a computer man at all. I spent most of my childhood in the surf, so trying to figure these things out does my head in, but I'm finding the profit of it is worthwhile. But what we are looking at doing is Wilkie and I are going to have a bit of a chat about perhaps looking at investing in the crypto economy in a couple of different ways, not just investing in the actual coins themselves, and maybe look at getting some mining rigs set up and things like that, and show that even computer idiots like us can do it. See, he doesn't even know how to turn the volume off. He's just had something come in. He's had to run out of the room.
Hey, I'm the same way, man. I literally call my friend for everything. I'm like, oh, how do I get this screen to split? What do I do now on this? I don't even know how to change my. I get locked out of my freaking iPhone so many times, dude. I swear.
Yeah, well, I literally I picked up a smartphone for the first time in, oh goodness, it's probably 5 years ago, but that's not that recent in the development of smartphones. I was still on a black and white Nokia 5110 for a long time.
Well, that's actually what I'm trying to go back to. I just put on my Facebook today to throw away your smartphones because you'll be more efficient without them. You think about all the time you spend on the smartphone all day when you could be doing other things.
Oh, absolutely. Not so much me myself, but I see it. Like I don't answer calls. I don't answer messages. I put my phone aside and say, just because I've got a phone doesn't mean I don't get me time. So, you know, I'm kind of gone, not with the rest of society with the phones, but I definitely see it in my friendship groups, and especially in the younger kids at the surf. Like they will literally sit there at a top high-end surfing competition. When their heat's not on, you know, they'll just be on their phone the whole time.
Oh yeah, they're not even watching the competition. You know, I've seen a truck race where kids are just focused on their phones, and I'm like, that truck is about 100 feet from you. That thing could have killed you when you're glued to your phone.
That's it. But I mean, that gets me to a point about the crypto economy, mate. If people like yourself, you know, Navy, motorbike fan, people like myself, surfer from Gold Coast, Australia, if we're starting to find out and starting to understand the value in blockchain, I think it's only a matter of time before it does hit the masses in one form or another, whether it will be a currency, whether it will be just the use of the technology to help industries. I can't tell you, but I think blockchain is definitely here to stay.
Well, let me tell you one cool thing that you can tell the viewers, or I'm telling the viewers now. Rocky had told me, go to a store, buy one of those cheap prepaid phones, never connect it to the internet, never even connect it, you know, just get your little login, whatever, put your Bitcoin on that. There's your free Trezor, you know, or not free, but cheaper than buying a Trezor. Don't ever connect it to the internet. Nobody can ever get into it. You hide your private keys, all that. Just have this phone, you know what I mean?
It's a pretty cool idea. I hadn't even thought of that.
And then you have your seed word, so if you lose it, you go ahead and download another Mycelium wallet, and that's it. But you can keep it all offline like that, so you can send, you know, do everything you want. Just connect real quick to the Wi-Fi. If you're going to do some transfers, that's all you need to do. And never do it on a public Wi-Fi.
That's cool. That's cool. So what alts are you into at the moment, mate?
I bought Vertcoin. You know, I like that Vertcoin. I like LTC. I've been mining it for a while.
Yeah, Wilkie's sitting here nodding his head. He likes those two as well. He had a big nod at LTC. Thinks it's too cheap at the moment. See, it's at 56, Wilkie.
I love Charlie Lee, man. That guy tweets out the truth. It's awesome.
He's cool. He's cool. He goes over the top, which you like.
You got Roger Ver looking like an idiot on Twitter, and then you get all this support for Litecoin. You would think Litecoin would be over Bitcoin Cash by now, you know?
Oh, it's yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, it's still not even. No, it's still not really even close. Yeah, I don't understand.
Anytime you can get Litecoin under than the high that it ever hit, it's a good time, because it's always going to break some highs with some Litecoin. Just think about it, man. That guy has so much power on his Twitter account. He can change the markets.
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially with the market cap as low as that, it certainly can.
Oh yeah, easily.
We're at peanut stage in terms of global economies. That's, people have to be realistic about that, and that's why we see these wild fluctuations, because it's really an infancy stage.
Well, let me tell you this, man. Litecoin has a big mining worldwide. You know, like everybody's mining Litecoin. Well, when you got all these forks with Bitcoin, you got to think all these people that are mining Litecoin are going to dump the Litecoin to get into the Bitcoin to get that extra little bit. So after all these forks, where are they going to go back to? The more stable market, which normally is always Litecoin. So that's what you got to think about. after all these forks, Litecoin's going to just jump. It's going to go crazy. It's going to do the repeat of what it just did when it happened with Bitcoin Cash. It went up to what?
You're thinking those $70 marks, $80 marks even?
I'm looking at $110 marks now.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, look, I think Litecoin have made some good moves, and I've heard rumors for a long time now, and I haven't had anything confirmed about Litecoin purchases being available on Amazon and Alibaba going forward. Have you heard anything about that?
I had friends messaging me about, some newbies I got into this. They're messaging me about this also, and I haven't really looked into it. I'm working on a lot of stuff right now. So I've actually, my buddy was like, "Hey, I'm chatting on your account. Fish is on." He says, "Go on." So I was like, "Oh shit!" So I actually had to run out here and get set up.
I'm glad you did, man. It's been good having you in. Finally get to chat to you. I think we got someone else joining us now, actually, by the looks of it. Or is that you, Wilkie? Bob's microphone's off, but Bob, if you want to come in for a chat, you're welcome to, man. Yeah, so Vertcoin, the thing with coins that have had such a big run up is they always become a little bit exposed to the retracements because people have made good profit, you know what I mean? And people want to take that profit at times.
Yeah, so you got, I think with Ethereum, all the people that mine Ethereum too, that's why those markets are kind of stable at where they're at because of all the power that's behind these ones that supply them. Now you got Vertcoins going up in value. You got to think it's easy to mine on a computer now. All these old GPUs can now mine it, so you're bringing value to something that has no value because of the support that it's getting now. So you got YouTubers telling every other YouTuber how to mine it with your computer and tutorials and how to download wallets. That's what YouTube's really good for, and that's why, the markets are always going to go up if they don't censor YouTube. So we'll see what's next.
Well, if they censor YouTube, I think we'll work on decentralized versions of YouTube anyway on the blockchain. So it's a couple of projects already doing that, actually. DTube and Viewly is another one.
You're gonna lose a lot of people though that are still haven't heard about Bitcoin if they censor it, because think about it, 0.2% know about Bitcoin right now. So I'd say a lot more than that, man, because you really can't get judgment out of that. There's a lot of people waiting on their tax returns I talk to daily about Bitcoin, and all I hear is I gotta wait till my tax return, because we're all in the system where you live paycheck to paycheck. You can't even afford that $10. So what I like to do is set people up. You download the Coinbase. I'm not even promoting a link or nothing. I just tell them download it, and once you got it downloaded, hit me up. I'll walk over and I'll send them 10, 20 bucks. You know what I mean? And then they can watch that. And then they call me back sometimes like, "Hey, it's not doing so good." I'm like, "Well, what's that mean?" That means you should buy some more. If it's gone down there and it's gone up, it's gone down, buy it whenever it's red on your phone. And then now they're actually like, "Oh, you're right." So now they're hitting me up. "Oh man, I got like $400 up this week." I'm like, "Oh, so you bought at the dip?" "Yeah, man, I listened to you." So
yeah, well, it's it. Once you get into the hang of it, that's why I always suggest starting with small money, because it seems so easy, right? Buy low, sell high.
People just think people don't know what it is. Everywhere I go, "Oh, what's that?" "Oh, I've heard of it." "Oh, it's just a stock." "Oh, who owns it?" You know what I mean? So I want to get business cards made, just small little business cards, and just talk all about it real quick, small little writing, just hand them out. You don't even have to talk about it no more. And if anybody wants to get into it, they're going to look into it. And might as well take advantage of it and put your little QR scan code down there once they figure out what it is and be like, "I'm going to tip this guy." Just put "tips appreciated" with the QR code. They won't know what it is until they actually do the research. And then once they've researched it, they're going to scan code that thing for you. And put a little website.
I'm actually thinking about doing.
Make a cheap little website. You can make 5,000 business cards for $50 US.
Well, I'm actually thinking about putting some PIVX on I'll put it on a wallet and put it on a USB drive. And then I'm going to go and hide that USB drive somewhere on the Gold Coast. And I'm going to tweet a clue to where that is every day.
That's what they do out here in California for marijuana, actually.
I'll keep that in mind next time I'm in Cali, man. We've got a couple of mates over in California.
There's dispensary guys, they'll be like, oh, they call it the stash spot. So so we did a stash drop box at this place. They'll post a picture, and if you know where that picture is, you run to it, and whoever gets it, gets it. That's pretty funny.
That's cool. I'm just checking. Do I have to? We've got Bob in here, but I don't know if I have to unmute his mic or he has to do it. Anyway, Bob, if you did want to come in, the microphone icon is at the top of the page, and you just click it, and that'll unmute you, mate. If you're just in to have a listen, no problem at all. Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that. I was going to, hide a little bit of PIVX out there. We can do paper PIVX as well, so I might start tipping with PIVX as well. But they're going to have to download the Android wallet. I suppose that makes them earn their tip a little bit more. But the one PIVX I sent them today could be, worth $20 sometime in the future. A couple of years down the track or something.
Hey, how come? Well, why do you think that they don't have any like IO, like say, it's so easy to get an Android app for these Bitcoin wallets and all these altcoins. What's up with Apple phones? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard.
That's the problem with centralization, bro. That's the problem with centralization. Is Apple said, no, we'll decide. We'll decide when that comes onto our platform, and they are actually holding up the market.
Think about this. I bet John McAfee's now making cell phones. I think there's going to be some kind of Ethereum ran phone here in the future or something like this that has all these wallets on it, everything, an encrypted phone, decentralized phone, you know what I mean? That you pay your bill with altcoins, you can go refresh at the ATM, like you can use, it's beyond. So if anybody's listening, wants to do it, go feel free. I got some other projects I'm working on.
There you go. There's a $1 million idea dropped on you right there live on the show. Thanks for that one.
Learn how to encrypt your phone. That's it. Make your own phone. You go to China and have somebody do it right there in the streets for you. Why can't we just hire some person to put a little encryption chip in there and market it to just crypto? You know what I mean? Just like the Ledger Nano S's are only for crypto. We can make your own site. You got enough YouTubers to pump these things. And if it's for the people, word spreads like a fly, bro.
Yeah, that's it. No, I think that's a brilliant idea, actually. I think that the real crypto enthusiasts, and I've met a few of them now that I've been in the space. I went to a meetup locally the other night. It was good fun, people buying beers all over the place with crypto. And most of the people in the room had made a bit of money. So the shouting was going all over the place, and the guys behind the bar are like, so what's this stuff you guys are, what's the big, they all wanted to find out about it then, because everyone's just buying drinks left, right, and center.
No shit. That's cool. See, out here, like, I gotta like find the small mom and pop shops and then talk about Bitcoin, and then go back like a week later and be like, hey, can I buy this? I'll pay you in Bitcoin. You see the price went up in this? Like sometimes I do that, just to get these people interested, as business owners.
Yeah, well, I actually tried to do the same thing for PIVX with a company that I'd done some work with, and I said, look, I want to get you in on something. Let me work out getting payments in PIVX for you, because it's something we've been working on as the pivot payment system. And I said, you can just like transfer it instantly in your bank account if you want. I can set up so that we can do that, but by holding like 10% of it in PIVX, you might actually be able to make some extra money. And I was telling her to do that at between $1.50 and $1.80. So if she, sold anything in PIVX and held a little bit of it, she would have doubled whatever she held. So I think it's something that I want to get more into, is helping people actually get their stores set up to be able to take, whether it be e-commerce or actual or bricks and mortar stores. Or I've even got a mate who owns a coffee van who's really interested in but setting up so he can take, PIVX for the coffee in the morning. I'm really interested in working harder on that side of things, because I think that's important to get people to understand that what we have is actually currency. Like if I can spend it, if I can pay a bill with it, which I can in Australia, I can do it through a company called Living Room of Satoshi. I put my bill in, I put the PIVX or the Bitcoin or the Ethereum or whatever I want to pay in, and bang, my bill's paid. I can transfer it straight into my bank account. To me, that is a currency. Argument done.
That's sick, man. Like out here in America, it's all you can say is overstock. You know what I mean? Like that's the only one, it seems like. But like I got my biker bar to accept it, you know, and I haven't really pushed it. I'd rather pay in fiat, honestly, just because it's depreciating in value 2% a year or more. So,
that's the thing, right? Like it's like you don't want to spend any of it, right? So it's like, oh no, you want to do it to make it more mass accepted, make more people know about it. But do you really want to spend your Bitcoin or your PIVX or your Ethereum or your Litecoin or whatever it is that's your favorite? Probably not.
Yeah, let's just say, you know, my grandma set aside like $100,000 like 10 years ago. You know, it wouldn't buy me what it used to. So
no, of course not. I mean, yeah, I mean, 100,000 10 years ago was a whole lot more money than it is today. And that's, like you said, that's what people are quite naive to, mate, is that the US dollar or the Australian dollar or the yen or whichever currency you're working in, they're constantly devaluing. The dollar you earned today will be worth less in 6 months, a year, even tomorrow, scaled out. So, you know, cryptocurrency at the moment is certainly bucking that trend. So that's why a lot of us are now like, oh, I don't really want to spend any. I don't really want to take it out because it just keeps coming up. Like, yeah, we do this, man. Of course we do. But long term, you're getting good growth on most of the good coins.
So I like fell like out of like the whole working matrix, you know, the whole system since my car crash, and I like found the light and, you know, all this stuff, you know. So like what you know, I tell all my buddies, dude, like, dude, you got to get into this crypto. You got to get into it. And it's just some people, man, they like think of you like you're a scam artist because of all like the news and media and like, oh, what are you buying on the dark web with it? All that. And then once I show them, there's a video, it's Bitcoin, the end of money as we know it. I show them that video and like, wow, everybody's like, you're right, man. If anybody hasn't seen that, I highly recommend that video on YouTube.
Do you know what is always amusing to me? And thank you for doing. Thanks for that. We'll probably actually. Can you drop the link for that into our Discord group after the show later on, so I can.
Oh yeah, on the Discord group, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Just drop it in there. We'll link it up another time because I love watching those little things. But you know what really is funny to me? I watched one documentary. I can't remember what the name of it was, but there were some Bitcoin people out there talking about Bitcoin, and this lady like came up with a US dollar bill, right, and waved it in the Bitcoin guy's face saying, I'll keep this, thank you, I'll keep this. And it's like, you have so much faith in something you don't even understand. Do you understand how money is created? Do you understand how money is manipulated? And yet you're that brainwashed. You're prepared to sit there and wave it in someone's face who has a better alternative.
Well, let's just say this. Say you have a $20 bill in front of you, right? Well, what's the first thing you think of when you see money?
I don't know. I don't know. What is the first thing you think of? Wilkie, what's the first thing? No, don't answer that. Wilkie, don't you answer that. His will be like hookers and cocaine.
Hookers and blow.
So we're not going there.
No, so you think of what you can buy with it, right?
Sure, of course.
Okay, well, what's that 20 think of you?
Very little.
Exactly. It doesn't think nothing of you, you know. So, and they could just keep on printing it every night, all they want, you know. So, yeah, there's a lot of stories that can go on and on. I don't want to fill up your show, man, but you know, when you sit in a wheelchair for 8 months, you know, you got a lot of info that you can find, especially on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Don't worry about filling up the show. People get sick of me talking for an hour straight. I don't know how they handle it. So it's good to have someone else talking.
My buddy, my computer friend, he gets sick of me talking. He's probably going like, dude, he's talking. No, stop talking. That's all I do, man. But that's what I'm good at.
Good. We'll definitely be having you back on, man. It's good. It's good fun. And, you know, we get a good another person's opinion. I mean, mine's one opinion. The more opinions we can get, the better, I think.
Well, let's just say this, man. You guys in Australia love to travel. and that's great, man. That's awesome. A lot of people in other countries they don't even leave their states, or just within a 100-mile radius. You can't. You don't know what you like. You don't know what your hobbies are until you experienced everything. So if you guys are like in your, before you're 32 years old, go out and travel. And if you can do this on crypto, like, do it. Take advantage of it.
Wilkie, this big whale over here, literally said to me, I'm going to get enough money and then I'm off. He goes, I'm just going to go sit in like Nicaragua and just chill.
Because you're not free. Nobody's free until you can just take off and just do what you want. That's real freedom right there.
Yeah, so, for sure. And that's what we've been talking about. It's not necessarily making the huge millions. It's just getting us into a position that we can live the life that we want to live without the oppression of wage slavery.
I always tell my friends this: put $100 in Bitcoin and go buy a coffee a day. If you can, if you can find a spot that accepts crypto, buy a coffee a day. And at the end of the month, what's your balance? And then try it the next month and do it with cash and add up the totals and how much you really spent with something that's decreasing and something that's increasing.
Yeah, and you look at Rocky's Bitcoin meetups, man. When he showed us the prices on the show the other day, every single meeting
was
gone into
My first one was the one where it was negative. There was one that was actually down $100.
My mistake. I thought they were all positive. There you go. So if you invested at the absolute, in the worst month, really, that he's been running them, you would have lost $100. And every other time it's bounced back. You know what I mean? And
that was the first day I bought. That's when it did that dip down to 1,800.
No way. I got it at 16. 1,600 was when I first started buying it. But it was that's good, resolve from you to say. I get the feeling you're a bit like this though, that it's like, no, screw you, I'll buy more.
Yeah, that's how I am. Even if I get stuck at the top too, man. Like I get all greedy and into it, and I'll run over to the Bitcoin ATM real fast, and they charge $400 over price, and I'm like, screw it. I'm still going to get my money back, and I have no like shame in it, like I know I'll make that money back. And every time it hasn't disappointed me. Now, if I were to go put my money into the ATM and they want to charge fees, man, that's a loss. I'm taking a 20% loss on a couple $100 just to buy this stuff. Yeah, I'm doing it. Hell yeah. People think I'm crazy. They just charge you $50 to send that. Yeah, it's all right. I'll make it back.
That's it. I get FOSO. I get fear of selling out. I do. I hate selling anything.
I like to buy a little bit.
Bob's just in the chat with us, man, and he's not actually speaking, but he's just typed Bit India, and I hadn't actually heard about Bit India. I'm guessing it's an exchange for perhaps the Indian rupee into the Bitcoin. Maybe, I'm not sure. Have you heard of that one?
My buddy's said he's actually heard of it. So he's going, yeah, I've heard of it.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm not sure whether it's a coin or an exchange. We'll have to look into that one for you in the future, Bob. So we're really prepared for that. Hey, man, I'm gonna actually. Oh, it's both. It's a coin and an exchange. Thank you, Bob. Cool. We'll have a look at that in the future. Man, I'm going to check out. I got Wilkie here. We're going to go develop our strategies for the next week and see how we're going to play this out. I'll just follow the big whale because there's no point me trying to fight against this guy. But anyway, man, thanks heaps for coming on the show. It's been really good having the chat with you finally.
Cool, man. I appreciate your invite.
Yeah, no worries. Well, and thanks to everyone who continued to watch. I'm sorry again. I will figure out how I can actually speak to guests and get the chat at the same time. I just haven't got that far yet, but we will have that coming in the future.
Okay. So let me tell you how to do that right now.
Okay, please.
Go onto the YouTube, and where the chat is, there's the 3 little dots. Right-click that, and then you can move the chat box out of that. Then you can drag it onto your Hangouts page, and you can see it wherever you want.
Wow. Hang on. I'm going to try it. What's this, Wilkie?
It'll say like pop out chat or something like that window. It'll make its own window, and then you can drag that to where you want it.
It's still drag? I think I dropped it. Hang on. Shut up, Wilkie. Drag it.
You're the worst person.
No, go away. Show. All right, no, I'm going to figure it out off show because now I'm just making a fool of myself.
Well, you can also.
No, man, I got to figure that out for next time. But I promise you guys, next time we have guests on the show, I'm going to have the chat here as well, so that we can get the guests actually asking some questions. Sorry, the people who are watching, getting some questions in with our guests. AccuFive, thanks very much again for joining us, man. I'm going to check out before I make too much of an idiot of myself.
I'll make a video tonight on my late night crypto talk show, and I'll do a screen share of how you do it for you. All right.
Thanks, brother. It's I don't know. It's the blind leading the blind. I don't. That's you're only recently into computers yourself. But hey, look who's here.
As you're leaving, Rocky shows up. What's up, Rocky? No sound, Rocky. Come on. He's a computer guy and he can't even figure it out. No.
What's up?
Ah, there you are.
What's up, Rocky?
Sorry for coming in so late.
No worries, man. Always a pleasure to have you in. Good to see you.
I just heard you talking. I just heard you talking about the price at my meetups, and I wanted to make a little correction. It was the one down was almost 300 down, but that was after one month. The month before that, it was up over 900. The month before that, it was up over 500, and the month after that down, it was up almost 1,000. It was up over 950.
Oh.
Well, you'll take a $300 retracement in a month when you've had those 3 months stacked on top of each other, won't you?
Oh, exactly. Here it is right here.
Oh, you got it there. Okay. I see it. So I just start speaking again so it comes up there, Rocky.
Oh, now on that, since you host the screen share, now you can click on their little box icon on there. There's a little down arrow. You can click that and then, or right click it maybe, and you can like present to everyone.
Ooh, I can too.
Yeah, then you can lock them in.
Hey, look at this. Look at all this technological stuff I'm learning. Yeah, so we're just having a look at Rocky's meetup history there, and as you can see, it's yeah, pretty profitable. I mean, if you want to put $100 into Bitcoin at each of those meetings, I think you'd be pretty happy with yourself right now.
In fact, talking about that, here's a website right here. It's called Bitcoin Saving Calculator, and you could punch anything you like in here, and any amount, and you could pick like a daily or weekly or monthly or yearly investment and when to start, and then you click calculate, and it will show you like how much out of pocket you would be and how much you'd have in Bitcoin so far.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. What's that website? for-bitcoin.com. Yeah,
/ calculator.
All right, cool, man. I'm going to check that out.
Because that's exactly what I do. I put in a certain amount every week.
I think weekly and monthly budgets are the way to go. I often advise that because it limits you. It limits you to thinking about what you can afford each week and what your realistic budget is. When people just go, I've got $5,000 to throw in, that concerns me. I'd rather see an accumulation strategy based on a weekly or monthly budget because I don't know when the loads are definitely going to be, and I don't know when. So, you're better off splitting it and trying to pick the dips on a week-by-week basis or a month-by-month basis. I think that's the best strategy anyway.
Yeah, load up your GDAX or whatever exchange also with some USD so then you can hurry up and buy on those quick dips too.
Really good advice, really good advice. I don't think we don't have an exchange that allows us to do that with Australian dollars just yet, I don't think. Wilkie, have we? He wasn't even listening. Okay, great. Thanks, Wilkie. You're a fantastic contributor on this show, mate. Well done. Guys, I am going to have to check out. I'm sorry I have to do that right when Rocky's coming for the convo. But thank you for coming in. And yeah, I've just been asked, do you all have your own channels? So yes, AccuFive has the Late Night Crypto Show. Is that right, AccuFive?
Yeah, it's the Late Night Crypto Talk Show. And it's a shared account between a lot of just other YouTubers that I have. So it's pretty cool. We all just go on and put some info on of the day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Rocky, yourself, have you got a show going on, mate, or are you just concentrating on the live meetups at the moment?
Yeah, I do not have my own show. I do have my own YouTube channel, but I don't have any of my own videos. But if you do go there, you'll see like some of my favorite videos that have to do with Bitcoin. So that's Bitcoin Ascent.
Bitcoin Ascent. Thanks for that, Rocky. All right, guys. Well, thanks to both of you for joining us for another discussion. Nice work, mate. Nice work. It's pointed to Bitcoin. All right, guys. I'm gonna peace out. Thanks for all the viewers who tuned in.
Yeah, they spelled Bitcoin wrong on your hat.
They spelled Bitcoin wrong on your hat.
I think they spelled Bitcoin wrong on my hat. I tried to switch it to my screen, and I just about literally, but yeah, control. No, being a decentralized program, I'm now going to peace out. So catch you guys later. Thanks for joining in again today. Yeah, we'll speak to you all soon. Peace out.
Wait.